everyone, welcome to the daily live stream. Nice to see all of you guys. Welcome. So we're gonna see what is going on today with the stock market. As usual, starting with NASDAQ, SPX, and moving to the gold, Nvidia, Palantir, Tesla, and we're gonna add Apple for a usual daily update. Hello Felix, hello Fabian, nice to see all of you guys. All right, so we're gonna start directly with NASDAQ. So yesterday we saw a little bit some troubles for NASDAQ, and that was due, of course, to the tension in the US, of course, where we saw some rage in the Los Angeles, which it was a little bit, putting the, I would say, the U.S. security a little bit in troubles, which of course it might affect a little bit, guys, the stock market, not so much, but we saw some drops, right? So basically, what we are looking right now is a potential three waves, right? So we don't see yet a finished wave 5, honestly. Unless this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But if you take a look at this impulse here, you have a wave 1 longer than the wave 3, and the wave 5 also longer than the wave 3, which is not an impulse. Right? So something else is unfolding. I believe that this is, of course, 3 waves toward the upside as a zigzag. We are looking potentially here at another wave 2, meaning you are looking potentially at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as an ending diagonal, probably for this wave 5. By all means, this wave 5 is not done yet, and I think that we're still looking for higher, guys. So basically, I would say that let's add some, here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which it might still unfold for higher, guys. Okay, so this is your wave 5 in the white, and the 3, here we go. And in diagonal, why? Because we see a zigzag here, okay? Once you see a zigzag, you can call, of course, definitely a lead ending diagonal here. Yeah, so this is a idea. Hello, Free Minds. How you doing, buddy? Okay, so we're looking for a wave 3, potentially for a diagonal 4 and a 5. I don't see yet bearish. Why? Because if we, of course, I mean, you can take this as an impulse towards the downside, right? But, well, inside it, on the 5-minute chart, you don't see a wave 5 finished. And it's not an impulse as a wave 5. Meaning, if you are 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, the only way to consider it is an expanding diagonal, which is a very rare case scenario. Much higher probability can be a flat or a zigzag here, and then having another zigzag for W, X, and a Y here can be. And what we are looking at right now is a leading diagonal again, meaning 5 waves toward the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Probably, of course, this can be the first leg of this wave 3, which it can be, of course, a zigzag, because you would like to have an A, B, and a C toward the upside. Simply, you want to take the high here, okay? It's not necessarily that this diagonal can be very aggressive as drawn here, okay? Simply, wave 3 can take the high, 4, and a 5 somehow like this, guys, okay? But the thing is that I still don't see very bearish scenario yet, unless, of course, this has to be considered like a big A, B, and a C. What I mean with it is that you have an A 3 ways up as an expanding flat, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And that means that your wave 4 here is not finished yet and is still unfolding. Okay? But this possibility still need much more evidence, I would say. It still need much more evidence, meaning right now, if we are in bearish scenario, you would like to see this this 886 taken here. Okay, let me put the 886. Here we go. All right, so you would like to see this 886 21K 735 to start to think, okay, something bearish is unfolding. Why? Because if you are in a zigzag, you would like to retrace anyway, so we might see lower prices, but you would like to move towards the upside again. But if this move towards the downside continues towards the 886, therefore you will take the low sooner or later, even if you retrace a little bit, and then of course it's gonna continue towards the downside. Okay, so this is a key level between bullish and bearish right now. Higher possibility is still for the bullish to see higher prices. Okay. Yeah, so these are the possibilities here, and that because of course we did not finish a wave. We took the high, but it's not finished as an impulse. Yeah, I mean here you cannot really count. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 wave B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 probably as ending diagonal. But yeah, even here it's hard to call it like an impulse. Yeah, you took the wave 1. So all of this is kind of corrective wave, which it can be of course a zigzag. The only way possible way to count it is a wave 1 in a diagram. Okay, I have an appointment soon, but we'll watch the live stream later. Yeah, no problem, Fabiano. Have a nice day and good luck with your appointment. Sure, the live stream will be there to watch again. All right. Yeah, so these are the possibilities for NASDAQ. Currently, higher potential is to move for higher still, unless we take the 21K 735, which is, of course, invalidation of this bullish scenario, and, of course, higher possibility for lower prices. Let's see the SPX. So the SPX, which is at 17 minutes, and we started NASDAQ, I think, at 11. Here we go. Illusion Trades, how you doing, buddy? Good morning. I'm good. I'm doing well. I hope you do well too. So, Arcane, NIO. Okay, we're gonna check this, sure. With pleasure, bro. Here we go, NIO. All right, so, sorry. Here we go. All right, for SPX, let's see the SPX what is doing. So basically on SPX, we are looking, of course, still at our scenario. Now, SPX is different than NASDAQ, I would say. SPX has topped, I would say, nicely, and everything looks fine. It looks like already like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 can be finished. This can be an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, unless, of course, we invalidate it, but it doesn't matter, because it can even considered as kind of like a diagonal. Yeah, I would say diagonal from here. Yeah, better like this, ending diagonal. So in both case scenarios, I would say ending diagonal or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would call it finished. Yeah. So that is a good signal. Yeah, it shows like in all case scenarios that we have topped probably, and we're moving for a wave 4 here in the blue count. Okay, the wave 4 is of course a reflection for this flat wave 2, and that means the wave 4 might be deep this time. Be careful. It might be deeper because we have a flat as alternation. You would like to see a zigzag or a sideways, meaning triangle, but it has to be alternating from a flat. Okay, highest probability, of course. I mean, it's a guideline, not a rule, but targets anyway. The minimum targets for this wave 4 in the blue count might hit the 0.23, which is the most common, 5,877, meaning you would like to see, of course, A, B, and a C somehow like that. Okay, for the SPX. We hit perfectly the targets as required, the perfect targets for a wave 5 in ending diagonal, 0.618, 0.786. Therefore, the possibility goes even much more stronger for an ending diagonal here. Okay, we can remove this. And yeah, we are ready for lower a little bit for SPX, 0.23. Yeah, unless of course we see something much more. Let me check also the lower time frame. Are we in an impulse? Probably yes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, probably it has started. You took the high here as a zigzag also, and okay, everything looks on the way for a wave 4, guys. So I would say SPX is ahead. Now NASDAQ, normally, I mean, NASDAQ What is the possibility that we have the same scenario? Yeah, I'm okay. Just be careful, guys. Be careful that, okay, that this thing is impulsive and finished as an impulse, but again, the wave 3 is shorter than wave 5, shorter than wave 1, which is not allowed. But if that is the case, be careful. Key level, again, of course, it might be on the way for a wave 4. But I think that it still need one more high. I'm not sure for NASDAQ. Let me check for the indicators also. Maybe it gives us a little bit much more insights what it might do next. And therefore, we can match it with Elliott wave. Okay, yeah. As I said, yeah, it's still a little bit bullish. I don't see yet bearish even on the indicator. The momentum is decreasing for the bearish and increasing for the bullish momentum. So yeah, I think that, okay, for our, oh, okay, here is the thing. Yeah, but it's played, I think. So we have a divergence as bearish on the 4 hour chart, but it is played with this candle unless we want to continue. Okay, so be careful. All right, we got a signal. Already played with one candle, but it might continue. And meaning, of course, this candle, which it might be, of course, the impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, be careful. It might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the downside, guys. So with Nasdaq is not very clear, but I think this impulse, yeah, can be, of course, a signal in confluence with the 4 hour chart on the RSI, where we have, of course, a bearish divergence. So very interesting. It might be. Okay. Yeah, it can be, guys. Let me check here. Okay, yes, that is some weakness right now. Again, bearish divergence on the 5 minute. Okay, here we go. It's moving down as one. So yeah, be careful with it. Be careful. Okay, so it might be as well following also with SPX. Let me check this scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. No, still far scenario. Better this one. So therefore, okay, wave 4 is calling probably here. Okay, wave 4 is calling. Now confirmation is still the 88621K 700. Still the confirmation for NASDAQ. Let's have some, by the way, let's have some fib levels for this wave 4 in case we're moving down. So basically this wave 4 would like to take the 0.23 as well, which is around, let's make it smaller, 20K 800. Okay, time wise would like to, yeah, this is a very long wave too, so we might of course drop for a long time right now. Be careful. So wave 4 over wave 2, so this is a timing probably here. Okay, perfection is almost in the middle in June, 19 June. Okay, and that means of course we might see 2 weeks of drops right now. Okay, yeah, somehow like that. Now this wave 2 is a flat, also regular flat, so you might have a zigzag or you might have kind of triangle, but very rare cases that NASDAQ do triangles, so I believe of course a zigzag might have a higher possibility here. Okay, yeah, and I think, guys, in risk management, you would like to be careful, because if you're still looking for one more leg toward the upside, it's nothing in comparison with this move toward the downside. Okay, so be careful. All right, in terms of risk management. Okay. All right, so that is for NASDAQ and SPX. Let's move to the gold. Elliott Wave Community. Hey, KG, waiting for gold. Yeah, sure. Here we go. We are there. So 25 for the gold. All right, XAU, USD. Here we go. All right, let's see what's going on the gold. Here we go. 2 hours. All right, all set. Okay. Okay, so the gold, we saw a little bit higher prices yesterday. Okay, up and down, right? Also, you know, when there is a lot of tension rising and so on, not really secure for the stocks, it goes a little bit for the gold, yeah? And that's why we see a little bit higher prices. But interesting, very interesting that we have retraced over this line, yeah, taken from the tops here, all right? And that is very interesting technically, okay? Technically, it's very interesting. Now, as per Elliott wave, we still, yeah, we invalidated an impulse toward the downside. Why? Because if you are in 1, 2, 3, wave 4 is not allowed to interfere with the zone 1. So an impulse toward the downside has been invalidated, and this is an old invalidation of bullish that was old, taken from there. So we can remove it. Confirmation for lower. Okay, let's remove all of this. Start clean. And yeah, so we invalidated, guys. We invalidated this bearish scenario, as you can see, invalidation of bearish. And that means, of course, you are not impulsive anymore. And that means this can be, of course, an ABC. What does it mean? Yeah, 1, 2. After, yeah, this is ABC. But the problem, still not very bullish. Why? Because you're still looking at 3 waves up, right? So what does it mean for the gold here is that you're not very bearish, but also you're not a very bullish. Why? Because you have a 3 ways toward the upside, 3 ways down, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning this is a regular flat, which might still have a little bit higher prices. And what it might unfold after 3 ways down, 3 ways up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, simply toward the downside. Again, what does it mean? If we get 3 waves like this in a bigger overview, therefore you are looking here at A, B, and a C probably, and then you're having, of course, another a W, X, and a Y, okay, meaning 3 waves down, and then okay, moving up again. Wow, okay, that's interesting. That is very interesting. So the things are, what if even like ABC and then we get, as we said, 3 ways down? Yeah, the direction is toward the upside. Cool. Interesting for the gold, but it's not impulsive, guys. It's just corrective moving towards the upside, but not very impulsive. Don't take it as impulsive, of course. But I'm just looking for different scenarios. So 3 waves down, therefore 3 waves up. After you finish this wave up here, you might get, of course, a 5 waves down again. Yeah. So by all means, the gold is saying here, okay, I'm gonna take a while in this area, just ranging up and down. Yeah. In overview. Okay. But we're gonna, of course, tackle this much more clearer. But before doing this, I would like to clean up and start to looking at it again. Okay, without anything, maybe we see something new scenario here unfolding. Okay, so basically this is an impulse, this one. So I'm gonna start from here. So this is an impulse. This is not an impulse. Okay, it says 3 waves up, ABC, right? So what if, meaning if you have like ABC, ABC, here we go. This is a scenario. This is a scenario that it might unfold as triangle. By the way, gold makes triangles, so very possible. Here we go. So what if we have A, B, C, D, and a E? Okay, meaning 3 ways zigzags, probably zigzag, or correction can be even for wave B, then having a zigzag for wave C, correction, then wave E. Yeah, interesting, because this is gonna move towards the upside, guys. This is bullish, okay? And it might be triangle Y, because when you have a very strong trend toward the upside, the chart needs a very deep correction. Okay, especially with this parabolic move for the gold, it needs a very deep correction. Deep not in prices, I mean like very complex. Okay, it might take time, and then continuation toward the upside. Yes, it is complicated, free minds. It's getting complicated right now. Very true. Because it's a correction, definitely. And when the correction starts, of course, after a very massive move, this is a small move, by the way, in front of the whole move for the gold. So definitely you need a very complex and deep correction there. Okay. And this is exactly what the gold is doing right now. So I think if we are in a triangle here, guys, you have to of course keep in mind that you might be in a wave C toward the downside. So A, B, and a C, and that's why we see three waves, and then moving toward the downside for wave C, then wave D, then wave E. So yeah, it's gonna be in a triangle probably. So this is the first scenario, of course, as triangles. The second scenario can be, of course, an A, B, and a C. Okay, let's find a different finishing for a B, C. And that means, of course, here, if you are looking at just an A, B, C, after three ways down, three ways up, three ways down, A, B, C here, because this is an impulse. And you're looking for something like a zigzag, because this finished kind of like, not impulsive. I would say it's not an impulse, definitely not an impulse, invalidated also. So therefore, it's very low possibility, guys, even to get a wave C lower than this one, okay? So the highest possibility even goes here for the triangles, because we don't have an impulse. I would like to see somehow like this, okay, to take this low. But if you don't have an impulse, it's a little bit hard, I would say. Another possible scenario, here we go. There is a lot of scenarios right now, guys. It's a correction, don't forget. It's a correction, it's gonna be very complex. So W, X, and a Y, here we go. Meaning, you have three ways up, three ways down. You got an impulse for a wave A, B, three ways, which is invalidated as an impulse, meaning three waves. You're looking for a wave impulsive toward the upside as a zigzag. This is also very possible scenario, okay? It's a very possible one. But it's not an impulse, again, because of this here invalidated, okay? Wave 4 again, taking this one. And here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a wave C after an A, B, and a C again. Wave 4 took the wave 1, invalidation. Yeah, how much far is this invalidation? Let's check. Yeah, it's taken. Well, okay, I know it's with the wicks, guys, all right? So sometimes with the wicks, when they interfere, it can be possible that, okay, it can be possible that the invalidation get like, yeah, invalid, but very rare case, guys. It's very rare case that it happened, okay? Everywhere, on any chart, on crypto, on stocks, on gold, it's very rare, okay? Once you interfere with the wave 4, directly the impulse is invalidated, okay? It's a rule, this is a problem. It's a rule and not a guideline. If it was a guideline, I would ignore it, honestly. But it's a rule, and that is not possible. So I don't see an impulse to the upside, unless, of course, you have a WX and a Y, guys. WX and a Y is potential Y because you have a clean impulse here. So A, B, and a C for a zigzag after another potential zigzag here, and then having an X in between. So that would be perfect scenario. I think this is the highest, honestly. Yeah, it's always good to clean up and start to look again on it, yeah, especially when it gets very complex. So alternative scenarios, or just 1 hour. Here we go. All right. Yeah, so basically, I would say higher possibility goes for the wave Y. Now, let's start to see some key levels, how we move from scenario to another, and how we check that, yes, we are towards this scenario. Now, if you are in a wave Y, okay, you would like to see right now an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, why? Because you would like to see impulse A, B, and an impulse for the wave C, and that means on the lower time frame you would like to be in an impulse or at least a diagonal. Currently, unfortunately, we're looking at 3 waves, which is not a start of an impulse, which is a signal, guys, unless again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diagonal, wave 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This is the only way that you can get there. Okay, the only way, meaning right now this can lead us kind of to a leading diagonal as a wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave Y in a zigzag ABC. Okay, if we see this unfolding as a leading diagonal today, therefore you can make sure you are very high probability in a wave Y. Okay, another scenario now, so this is the key level here. You would like to see, of course, leading diagonal. Okay, the other scenario where you are in a triangle, you would like to see as well kind of a zigzag. Imagine right now it's just about zigzags, the whole scenarios, because it's very complex structure. You might be also in a wave 1, guys. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 ending diagonal. Probably be careful for a wave C, this wave C. Okay, meaning if we see a wave 1, 2 somehow higher, and we start to take the low again, okay, so by all means, this is, by taking this low, definitely confirmation for lower. Okay, you don't want to take this low. Okay, once you take this low, definitely for lower, by all means, minimum target is a wave C in triangle. Okay, guys, maximum target is a wave C in the magenta. All right, and that means you would like to see also 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, kind of an ending diagonal. If you don't take the low with it, you might end up with a running flat ABC, which is a reversal for the market and moving bullish toward the upside. However, guys, whatever is going to happen in this complex structure, at the end of it, we're moving for higher. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. Derek, Apple is already in the list. Yes, it's forever, always. By daily, we're gonna put Apple always there. So those are the possible scenarios, guys, and the key levels. Yeah. So if you are moving for higher, you would like to see a motive wave. Motive wave meaning impulse or diagonal. And once you create a motive waves toward the upside, okay, the direction of the market tells you, okay, we're heading above. The wave Y, of course, can take the all-time high. This will create a big A, B, and a C toward the downside, expanding flat. Okay, if not, it might still regular flat, A, B, and a C. Okay, so this wave B is over there. Let's put it in round. This is the main scenario here. Okay, so still this main scenario still might unfold, okay, as ABC. All right, guys. Okay, that was for the gold. Key level, as we mentioned, if you take this one, meaning confirmation for lower. Let's put the price to make it clearer. 3,293, meaning we're moving lower, at least wave C in triangle. If you move in a motive wave, you're moving for higher, and the target would be 1-to-1 fib level, 3,453. Okay, here we go. All right, those are the potential scenarios and the key levels to be watched. It's gonna be boring, guys, a little bit. Sorry. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit boring, unless, of course, we see the motive wave unfold very fast. Cool. Let's see next, which is Nvidia at 39. Okay, so NASDAQ and SPX are moving down, therefore Nvidia maybe as well. So it might yeah, have some influence on the chart for Nvidia, but interesting. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, obviously the wave 5 is not finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, let's move in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But for me, it looks finished. But here, there is something interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4 invalidation. Let's move even inside it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Wave 1 or A, and then you got a wave B and a C. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, okay, okay. Ending diagonal. It's a zigzag. All right, it's a zigzag, meaning this wave 5 is finishing an ending diagonal. All right, so probably, and I think this might drop down a little bit again, somehow like that. And this is an ending diagonal for wave 5. So the wave 5 is not finished as bullish, guys, yet. Okay, I mean as an impulse. 1, 2. This wave 3, by the way, looks shorter than the wave 5, definitely, and shorter than the wave 1. Interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Somehow like that might finish for Nvidia, because I don't see yet. I mean, here 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for wave 3, main wave 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah, that's not good. I mean, this wave 1 is longer, yeah, than wave 3. That's good. So even probably that you just get like wave 5, but the problem it start to be expanding diagonal, which is very rare case scenario. And that's why I prefer, of course, to still see one more low, formation of 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And I believe this might happen. Let's get some indicators, insights here. Are they looking for lower on the time frame here? Okay, yeah, I mean, we got a bearish signal, bearish divergence, but it is played right now. And we have a bullish divergence. 15-minute chart, the same bullish. Yeah. Not very strong, but look at this divergence as bullish here and here. You see the divergence? And it's moving a little bit for higher. And right now, okay, we don't have any bearish. So it might still moving for higher, guys. We don't have any bearish. Okay, how much possible is that? I don't like it so much. But here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, and a C. That means bearish. Okay, guys. What I mean here, or what happened? What I'm doing? I messed up my. Here we go. Okay. So basically, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say, guys, one more low. Yeah. Even there is no really strong bullish or bearish, but I think one more low is very possible. Okay, so I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and don't forget that Nvidia is is very influenced by NASDAQ and SPX. Okay, so we might start to see a little bit lower, but I think I would prefer, of course, to have a finished one here as a wave 5. I'm not sure if I can count it 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Can be. And currently you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So be careful also from the bearish, okay? Meaning wave 4 here, let's move to the 1 hour. Wave 4 in the orange might be calling as well, okay? So key levels, again, for Nvidia, you would like to see something finishing here as 5-wave structure. Very simple. Okay, if we finish in 5-wave structure, definitely we're moving down. In both case scenarios, if you move down from here, you're looking for a wave 4. And if you get those 5-wave structure, you're moving down. The question mark is, of course, I'm a long-term trader. Yeah. The question mark is, does it worth it to take my trade for buy here, just for a small finishing ending diagonal? Because it might drop from the top or from there. So this is where you make a wise decision, guys. Okay. Yep. So that is for Nvidia. There is no really a very clear movement yet, but I think it can finish up here with a wave 5 ending diagonal and moving down, or simply moving down. Okay. So higher possibility is to move towards this wave 4 in the orange here. Okay. All right, that is for Nvidia. Palantir at 45 or 46, I think. Here we go. So 46, we are looking for Palantir. So yeah, Palantir, lately we were, of course, questioning here what is going on. Is it a 1-2, 1-2, and then we're looking for higher? Very low possibility. Why? If you have another 1-2 here, you would like to simply see higher prices directly. Okay. So you would like simply confirmation for higher 135. Once you take this, okay, then we are looking for higher probability. But don't forget that this can be also kind of like WX and a Y. Okay, meaning you have a zigzag, you have your X, and you get a wave Y toward the upside. So be careful with it as well. Here we go. Let's put it in blue here. Here we go. So WX and a Y, okay, can be also a possibility. Final scenario that you are looking at also is a zigzag, and you have a triangle here. A, B, C, you're still looking for a wave C, D, and an E. It might take time, guys. And then moving for a wave C toward the upside after, of course, a zigzag kind of, or a flat, okay? But higher possibility here goes, yeah, potentially for a WX and a Y, guys, okay? Somehow like this. But this is corrective, definitely corrective, and it means we're moving for higher. Now, because of the time taken and we did not reach the 0.38, meaning if we are in a 1-2 here, because there is a possibility 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, yeah, you would like to see a wave 2 hitting the 0.38, which is the minimum requirement for a wave 2. And in this case scenario, we didn't took it. And that means, of course, if you're looking for higher, you would like to take the 0.38. So we might look for higher correctively and then moving down again, meaning 3 ways down, 3 ways up, and then of course moving towards the downside impulsively after an expanding flat. Of course, key levels given. Higher, you would like to take the 135. This one is already taken. If you are moving down, of course, meaning the wave 2, you would like to get out of the triangle and invalidate it at this price exactly. Here we go, 117. Once you take this price, meaning you're heading for a wave 2 as an A, B, and a C. Sorry, A, B, and a C. Okay, that is for Palantir. Key levels given. Let's see Tesla at 49. All right. So for Tesla at the 2 hours chart here. Okay. Yeah, after the drop, we start to see some recover a little bit, but we did not took the invalidation of bearish. Okay. Meaning the impulse is still there. And you hit right now the 0.5 fib level for a wave 4. Here we go. Yeah, and we're still probably looking for lower, guys. So be careful. It has finished wave 4 as a zigzag so far. Okay. And here, if this is a wave 4. Okay. So before taking the 333, which is the key element here, if you're still around this area, you're still under a bearish pressure. Okay, you have an impulse wave 1, you have a wave 2, you have an impulse finished wave 3. Obviously it is a wave 3 as well because it's very long. Obviously this is 3 waves. It might be a wave 4 unless you are in 1 2 1 2 and then 3 4 5 4 5. If this is a wave 4, you might hit, of course, the next target 248 258 blue box. Okay, meaning you are still under pressure. Okay, with Tesla. Okay, I'm just trying to see some. Yeah, there is some pressure still for the bearish, not very strong, but simply continuation. Okay, simply continuation of the trend toward the downside. Okay, guys, that was for Tesla, and of course, Tesla is a little bit risky on the daily as well. Let's see Apple at 51. So Apple, all right. For Apple, we are looking at the following. Yeah, yesterday we also saw Apple. We are potentially in W, X, and a Y. We said here because you have a zigzag. As you can see, it's a zigzag. You have an X and you have another zigzag for a wave Y. Unless even wave Y, by the way, can finish as a triangle. Okay, so it's another option for a wave Y. Okay, because sometimes the wave Y can finish in a triangle, of course, after zigzag, zigzag, and then A, B, C, D, E, and moving down. All right, moving down, meaning, of course, you might start here. It can be, of course, an impulse in case the zigzag finished already there, so be careful as well. The possibility here that this is an impulse is high, and you have a wave 2 probably finished, but I don't see yet continuation, but it should continue. Yeah, and this is a very long wave 2, by the way. So yeah, it tends to be much more into a triangle, guys. Okay, it tends to be much more into a triangle, but that means, of course, in both case scenarios, we're dropping down. Okay, once you finish this triangle here, the trend will continue for lower. Okay, so as I mentioned, you have a W zigzag, you have the X, you get another wave Y as a zigzag, A, B, and a C. The wave B is a W, X, and a Y. Okay, so A, B, and a C. In W, X, and a Y, big one. Okay, so zigzags, double zigzag complex structure. On the daily for this one, yeah, we might hit still, of course, this blue box. Okay, this blue box is taken from those 3 waves down, 3 waves up. You're looking for kind of like 1 2 3 4 5, but I don't see this. I see this as W, big X, and then of course a wave Y. By all means, guys, anyway, on the daily you are very corrective for Apple. Yeah, you don't have an impulse here. Therefore, you still need to finish this correction, and I don't see an end there for this correction. Therefore, the wave Y is still, of course, looking for around the 157, 144. All right. So be careful with Apple. Yeah, Apple and Tesla are a little bit in risk. Be careful for the shares. All right. Let's see the special request that we have here, NIO at 54. So NIO. What is that? Is it Nordic iron ore or this one? Okay, let's see the chart first. If it is not good, it's not a good chart, bro. It's not a good chart, Arcane. You don't have really good good impulsive ones. So you have 1 2 3 4 and a 5. This is a wave C of A, B, and a C. So you started with a correction, meaning you continue this chart corrective forever. and it might be, of course, taking the low very simply. So be careful. You are right now in an impulse toward the downside. Okay, you are in 1 2 3 4 5. You have 1 2 here, 3 4 and a 5. 1 2 3 4 5 probably as ending diagonal. Or if it's gonna get worse, it's gonna be 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 and a 5 toward the downside. So horrible one. Yeah, just spend your money on something much more secure. Okay, this is what the channel is about, bro. Of course, I would like to show you the risk, but I don't like to show it so much on the channel. So yeah, preferably to not ask me for this one anymore. Just ask me for something very nice to show it for everyone. Okay, guys, so that was it for the stock market daily live analysis. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. Don't forget it, of course, to support this channel so I can continue with it with both channels, of course. And yeah, I wish you to have a nice day and trade safe. Bye bye.